means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first party output.
Turn 10 and how we started Forza. And they turn 10 and how we started Forza. And they've turned into a great racing studio that does an amazing job. And I know it takes a little bit longer, and maybe people like the quick, hey, why don't you just go buy this studio and bring them in? And we're completely open to it. Microsoft has the money. I have the green light, so to speak, in your terms, to go and acquire studios. Again, I just think it's the goal for us is to bring the best games to the platform. And if a studio wants to maintain its independence but work with a first party, I think that's fine. And the game, I think it's great, actually. And I think our ability to partner with those people and bring the best games to our platform is as strong as it would be if they were owned by us. Games to our platform. Because in the end, I think the gamers play the games.
Of course they do.
They don't play the studios. They don't play the resolution numbers, right? They play the games, and we want to make sure the best games are there.
But if you're...
Oh yeah, it's time. It's the Gaming Grindhouse Gaming Bite. Oh baby, but we got to thank the VIPs in the club. What's up? Today, just celebrating the VIPs. There's nothing about these cheering. No. Hey, we're partying. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you again, VIPs. We're starting a special with the VIPs. VIPs, shout them out. Hit that like button. Come on in. Use those emojis. How'd you come on in? It's that time. Oh, man. Wow. Impromptu. Grinds Bite. What news has dropped? They were meeting today. Well, yesterday they met, and the FTC dropped the bomb. They're taking Phil Ness to court. The two Utes. My cousin Vinny's coming out. He's like, Phil, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to get my cousin Vinny. What? I'm going to get my cousin Vinny. The two Utes are going to come out. You know, we put Steam in Nintendo. The two Utes. The two Utes. What are you talking about, Phil? The two Utes. I make magic grits on my... Dude, Before I get ahead of myself, Grinders, welcome to the Grinds Gaming Bite. Yes, as you can see from the thumbnail, as you can see from the title, the FTC announced today that they are seeking to block the Microsoft Activision deal, and they're taking them to court. Let us compete. That's right, Frosty. Shot, Jedi Johnny, Sam Ash, Garu the Hunter, Jeff B. Gaming, Buck Roger, Maniolas, Febreze, Febrizzle, what's up? How you doing? Nelson, how you doing? Sam Ash, come on in. Geo Knows Gaming, let's go. Compost Smurf, how you doing? Hit that like button, share it out. Call the Grinders. Put up the signal. I couldn't put it up fast enough here. I was trying to get there. I'm going to put it up, post on here. Join the Grindhouse here. Come on in. Got some things to talk about. Because you remember, like, at midnight when Phil was, like, in his Xbox boxer shorts and tweeting out, well, we gave 10 years to Nintendo. We're going to keep it on Steam. Yeah. Honey, watch this tweet. Kumbaya. Didn't amount to a hill of beans. FTC saw right through it. They said, we're taking you to court. We're taking you to people's court with goddamn Judge Judy. Oh, pause. This is going to be a mess. An absolute mess. Whether the deal goes through or not, you want to know what? I know you are going to be entertained. Because now they're going to go to court. There's going to be numbers and proof. Whatever they're going to scrounge up, we're going to find the ins and outs, the inner bowels. Oh, man, pause. The inner bowels of what's going on with the Xbox business. Booty up on the podium. He don't talk too much. Booty what? Games? No games. Coffee? Coffee, yes, Booty. The bowels of the business are going to be shown in this court. That's why I said the longer this goes on, the more dirt we're going to see. The more stuff that they don't want us to know for their PR and stuff will come out. And the proof that this has been a failed attempt over the last 6 years will come out. This whole kumbaya, games everywhere, 2 billion people, I'm touching it all over the world, Phil Ness, all this stuff is going to show Game Pass, day one games, studios not putting out content. All this is going to show that this has been detrimental to them. And we're going to see it live on SmackDown. And this is the FTC. This is their home turf. We got the CMA also doing an investigation. This thing's not going to go until March and April, possibly the summer. My gosh. I hope Microsoft is not holding back stuff because of this deal, because this deal might go into next year, next Christmas. This was such a stupid deal from day one. I said this from day one, and I said this on this show. The Bethesda ink wasn't even dry yet, and these clowns sought the opportunity to jump on a devolving Activision, caught grab-assing in a legal suit, and come swooping in and buy them low while they were in trouble and vulnerable. And Slickster Phil went over there and said, hey, they look like they're in trouble. They're desperate for a buyout. Codex probably has 1 foot out the door. They're in this legal stuff. Let me go knock on the door 2 days after they've been accused of all this sexual misconduct there. And let me offer to buy them and keep Kodak in business for another year or so while we make this deal. They were vulnerable. You think Activision on its high horse would even garner the fact of this offer? No, they wouldn't. Instead, they were vulnerable, and Phil saw that vulnerability and jumped on this and wasted a year of everybody's time, and now possibly 2 years. Because this was a swing for the fences, desperation shot to try to make this thing work. That's what this was. And I've said it so many times before, this was their ninja moment. No, Mixer was not doing well, growing well. Guess what? Just go to Twitch, buy the biggest person there, and just make them stream on Mixer. That will work. No, it didn't. Well, then buy Shroud and get him on Mixer. Just go over to Twitch and just buy the biggest people. Just open the wallet and buy them and put them on here. On Mixer. Buy them and put them here. They're not going to come here. Their choice. They're not going to come here. Just buy them and put them here. But that's Activision. Just buy Call of Duty. We'll never make a game like that. Just buy it and now we own it. That's what this is. A desperation shot for growth. And I already see the spins. We're going to go through what the FTC said. But I say, oh, they expected this. No, they weren't expecting this. Trust me. They're going to prepare because they're getting pushback. And do they have a case? People, oh, they're going to, the FTC doesn't win. Dude, it doesn't matter. The point is that this is wasting so much resourcing and time from Microsoft when they're going to be bringing you games. Oh my God, people in the chat, dude. They're like, Pacta's like, I'm 99% sure that this is going to go through. I'm like, oh, that's going to go. It's not going to go through. Pacta is he is the Eddie Mush of video game takes. He goes up there with Frost, okay? Whatever Pacta says, it's the opposite, all right? Pacta's like, I'm smarter than my peers. That what keeps me more. Dude looks like a homeless, retired, poor man. Every time he's on the camera, he looks like he's in his pajamas and hasn't taken a bath in a week. He used to do his things from the goddamn office building. Now he does them from his house and he doesn't shave. He was like a poor man he looks like one of those dudes that you go customer. Up to goddamn a friggin' like a gypsy. Tell me the future. And he's like, oh yeah, they're gonna buy him. 99%. I'm smarter than my peers. Back. And then Hose Law is gonna come out there and he's probably gonna spin this going, this is exactly what they wanted. This is exactly what we predicted. You can't have a big company buy another big company and it not go to court. This is exactly what they wanted. Dude, get the hell out of here. Listen to what the FTC had to say. It's not just taking them to court because they want to go to court. Listen to what they say, and we're going to go through it. Glinzer with the 2. Microsoft to the FTC. We got to buy games. We can't make them. Exactly, Glinzer. And that's exactly one of the reasons why. Hose Law. At the door. Call them up. Call your lawyers. Call Vinny. Call my cousin Vinny. The 2 Utes. The 2 Utes. Phil, pick up the phone. Phil. I'm calling Phil right now. I need answers.
Yes. You're my number 1 customer.
You just made the list!
Booty. 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 No, it was time. It was time here. Illness. Oh yeah. Booty was too strong. Oh yeah. Oh man. That was my music interlude. So I gotta go to court now. It's a sad day. It's a sad, sad day. But I said, it's not gonna be just me going to court. I'll bring up my booty with me. Yes. Booty, you're gonna have to go on the court. Yes. We were laughing a couple days ago, drinking some booty drinks. Make some damn good coffee, but we're going to court, booty. We're going to court. Booty, booty, booty.
Oh man, oh man. Phil Ness does not want to go to court. I don't know if the audio was working. I see the audio wasn't working. But hey, we know what's going to happen. Like I said, he's going to use a hands off. He's going to say, I just go there. I'm hands off ass first. They're like, oh shit, that's good. I got distracted. No Cap Podcast with the 199. What's up, sick? He goes, I tried to warn you, Jez. You know, No Cap was saying, he's like, this is not going to go through. He said it's not going to go through. But the FTC, they're seeing the bullshit. And actually, let's show it. Yeah, that's right. Shout out to DDP. You know me. 540. He goes 5 months as a VIP grinder. Bots still flooded hose law with that super chat copium today. Oh, man. They're running. They have, I said it, reverb for effect. In the search for W's, all they get are L's. I said it. They are barking up the wrong trees, dude. They are barking up the wrong stuff. They made it more about this deal than about games. This is stupid. And now they got to get copium. They got to run to their favorite channel and go, hey, tell us how it's going to be. Oh, it was expected. Don't worry about it. Just like don't worry about everything else. Right? Don't worry about it. Right? Don't worry. It's okay. Nothing to see here at 343. Nothing to see here over at the initiative. The people are leaving. Dude, listen. It's going to be a mess. All right? You think the tiers are bad today. This guarantees a ride into the sunset of the dirt, of the underbelly of the Xbox gaming division. We're going to find out everything we need to know about everything that they have not told us. While people still don't know when games are coming out. Dude, I was seeing that gif of goddamn Redfall, $70 now. I remember the zoom-ins of the Horizon with the animations going not worth $70. But now Redfall, that don't look like no $70 game. That looks like a $40 game. Please. Microsoft slapping $70 on trash right now. They better have a good PR move for those games because you can't just send $70 on Microsoft trash games just to make your little Game Pass look good. I got all the receipts. But actually, let's just go right into the FTC. Smooth selling PS5, dude. They blame Sony on this whole thing. They're like, oh, Sony is the reason why the FTC is blocking it. Listen. No. Let's first read no comment, right? Redfall does look like booty cheeks, Nelson. It does. Hit that like button, everybody. Share it out. Let's go see what the FTC said. Let's see where they said Sony, because I need to see. So the FTC came out today. Breaking news. Man, FTC is trending out. FTC seeks to block Microsoft Corp's acquisition of Activision Blizzard Incorporated. And here they go with their tweets. Agency alleges the maker of Xbox would gain control of top video game franchises. We're not just talking about Call of Duty. We're talking World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, talking about Overwatch. A lot of big names, all right? And Call of Duty. Enabling it to harm competition in high-performance gaming consoles and subscriptions. No, they said high-performance gaming consoles. They're talking about Sony. Actually, that's not Sony. That's not Nintendo. And subscription services by denying or degrading rivals' access to its popular content. The FTC complaint notes that $69 billion deal, Microsoft's largest ever and the largest ever in the video game industry, that's key, would enable it to suppress competitors to Xbox gaming consoles and its rapidly growing subscription content and cloud business. The agency complaint also points to Microsoft's record, right, of acquiring and using valuable gaming content to suppress competition from rival consoles. You're talking about timed exclusives? No, including its acquisition of ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda Softworks, well-known game developer. The agency notes that Microsoft decided to make several Bethesda titles, including Starfield and Redfall, Microsoft exclusives, despite assurances it had given to the European antitrust authorities that it had no incentive to withhold games from rival consoles. Do you see? Do you see? I said this before. The Bethesda deal has yet to proven its value, its worth, its demonstration of what Microsoft will do with these big publishers. And the first things that came out of their mouth was, oh, Elder Scrolls and Starfield and Rev, all exclusive games. When, during the lead up, they were all like, well, we're going to keep games everywhere. Remember, people were arguing last year at this time whether Starfield was going to be a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox game, because Phil wouldn't come out and just say it. He was all talking around, well, we'll be there where Game Pass isn't and all this other stuff. And it wasn't until this year, or it wasn't until last year, whatever, at this time where they confirmed this. But he was talking out his ass. You see, he, despite assurances, it had no incentive to withhold games from rival consoles. The first thing they did was withhold games from rival consoles. This is what they did. The Bethesda deal is giving them doubt to this Activision deal. It's like, wait a second. You just did this with Bethesda. You went around going all kumbaya, all our intent. And then you just grabbed Bethesda games and made them exclusive. Meanwhile, you didn't just say we're buying them to make their games exclusive. You finessed. You finessed everybody. Oh, we're going to put them everywhere where games aren't. We'll honor deals that we got deals and they just did all this promise. The next line. With control of Activision's blockbuster franchises, Microsoft would have both the means and motive to harm competition by manipulating Activision's pricing, degrading Activision's game quality. Oh my. Or player experience on rival consoles and gaming services, according to the FTC. What have I said before? This is not a timed exclusive. This is not a Sony, let's have a little deal where we're going to have a game come exclusively for a year. It is inherently, they have the ability to change the distribution, the content, the output of the game. That's why this is different. I see these people crying on the internet going, well, you don't understand. Like, Sony can make exclusives and we can't. It's different when you own the cow that makes the milk and the farm that cow lives on. When you just want to buy the cow for about a year or two to get some milk coming to your platform, that's a totally different deal. That is a negotiation between the cow and the people who want the milk. Microsoft's like coming in here going, no, I'm going to own the cow and I'm going to own the farm that the cow lives on. So you could actually just say, you know what? I'm not putting cows out on my farm anymore. And now people don't get milk. Do you understand? It's a different approach when you own a whole goddamn publisher. You have the capabilities of manipulating everything about it. That's the whole point. That's what people don't understand. This is not equivalent to Final Fantasy VII. This is not equivalent to a goddamn Forspoken. This is not the same. You are owning a whole goddamn publisher. You basically control the distribution of them and all the IP that comes with it. They're going to try to spin it. That's their job. Let them goddamn do it, because guess what? They're the ones, Joey. They're the ones that need to do the spinning. They're the ones that got to talk out of both sides of their mouth, Sam. They're the ones that need to do this because they're capping for the wrong things. We don't cap here. We tell it the way it is. That's it. There's no spinning. This is the way it is from the output of we seen as consumers and a we see as gamers. We don't have to come out here and spin. How am I going to spin this? There's no spinning in it. This is a FTC quotes. This is not interpretations. This is what they posted on the internet. This is what they're saying. There's no spin to this. What can you spin? Microsoft expected this? Well, they should have came with better arguments and better contingencies. Putting a game on a platform that had never Call of Duty on it, because guess what? Activision's a free company. They could put Call of Duty on a Switch whenever they wanted to. But by Microsoft going, well, we're just going to put Switch on, doesn't make any business sense. It doesn't make any business sense. And Microsoft's a business. Why haven't Call of Duty been on Switch for 10 years? It hasn't been on Switch because it doesn't sell on the Switch. There's no audience there for it. Nintendo don't even care. Their players really don't care. There's no audience. I wouldn't be surprised if the 10-year deal would have kiboshed. I bet you in 2 years they would have said, you know what? It's taking too much effort to get this to run on the Switch. We're just going to stream cloud to it. That's exactly what they're going to do with the Switch. Probably 3 years in, they'll be, you know what? We're just going to put xCloud on the Switch and we'll call it a day. You got Call of Duty. That's their plan. Because this is the problem. You see, they have the means and the motive to harm by manipulating pricing. $70 everywhere. It's in Game Pass. $70 everywhere. I said this on Six Show. Oh, yeah, put $70 on the Switch. Why not? The more places it's $70, the more people go, I want a cheaper version of it. It makes Game Pass look better. Degrading their game quality, player experience. They could do whatever they want. They could say we're not doing it, but they could do whatever they want. They could make season passes only on through Game Pass. They could do whatever they want. They're the publisher. It's not a negotiation anymore. See, when Sony goes over the Activision, they negotiate what makes sense and what they want to pay for. But when Microsoft is at Activision, there's no negotiation. Microsoft could be like, you know what? Cut that campaign out, split it up. We want Halo free to play, and we want the campaign in Game Pass. Call of Duty big, Activision big. We never did that with a Call of Duty before. I don't care. We want Call of Duty free, multiplayer. I want the annualization free, and I want the campaigns in Game Pass. There's no negotiation. Microsoft
just made the
owns them.
list.
They own them. That's right. Maniolas. VIP grinding for 8 months. Jez, can someone tell me every time they think they won, the next day everything turns to a huge L? I said it before. In the search for W's, all they get are L's because they are barking up the wrong tree. They are not talking about the games. They're not talking about the content. They don't care. They care about this stuff. Well, guess what? You made your bed, dude. You sleep in it now. Start getting those law degrees out. Now, all of a sudden, lawyers are your best friend. Like, this is what you do right now. This is what gaming's turned into for you guys. Enjoy it. Now you're going to be watching FTC filings. What are you going to do? Subscribe to Court TV? I bet you that's the next app that's coming to Xbox right now. Oh, damn. The next app that's coming to Xbox right now is going to be the Court TV app. Somebody put that on Twitter. That's a good joke right there. That's it. Court TV app is going to be downloadable. They're going to watch the whole thing on your console. Watch the whole thing on your console. Court TV app is coming to Xbox consoles in the new year. We're going to watch the whole FTC court trial. Goddamn, it'll be like the OJs. Please turn on your Xboxes, goddamn Judge Judy. They'll be sitting there with their goddamn tea and crumpets in the morning. They're going to make this. Oh, look who's taking the stand now. It's Booty. That's it. Somebody post Court TV app is coming to the Xbox. You know what? You know what, Grinders? I'm not. You know what? We're not going to let that one go. We're not letting that one. We're going live with this one. We're going to do it live. Live tweet, grinders, exclusive. Court TV app coming to Xbox consoles in 2023. Don't miss it. There we go. You're seeing the grinds at work right here. Don't miss it. We got it. He's hilarious. And wait, they're not done. But wait, there's more. Hit that like button, everybody. Woo, let's get 100 likes. Let's do it. Impromptu grinds bite. Now, the FTC alleges the tech giant could also change the terms and timing of the access to Activision's content or withhold content from competitors entirely, resulting in harm to consumers. So now, listen, you could say they planned for this. This is asking for contingencies and stuff, and Microsoft has to address this stuff. If Microsoft addressed all this stuff, what would be the purpose of owning Activision? What would be the purpose? If Microsoft can't withhold content, they can't manipulate price. They got to put it on all their competitions. They got to do all this with not. They don't just refer to Call of Duty. They refer to Activision franchises. If Microsoft has to put they're a third-party publisher, basically. Why would you buy them? They basically got to turn this thing, why would they spend $70 billion on this deal when they can't do anything exclusively because it would be an FTC issue? How? Right? How? How is this deal even worthwhile for anybody as a business sense? It doesn't. It makes absolute no sense. They got to make all these concessions. Well, we're not going to do this as a legal thing. So they can't change it. And this is the thing. Listen, this is the thing that made me want to definitely go live here and talk about this thing, because this is what I wanted to these two things right here. The Microsoft track record. The years that Microsoft has not released games, Microsoft doesn't even have a demonstration of what they could do with Activision. Microsoft has yet to show that they are self-reliant on their own games, that this is just expanding their portfolio. They are coming from a desperation, a mixer approach. Like I said, they are not doing well. So what they're trying to do back to back is scooping up the gaming industry. And I'm glad that it's taking this ridicule and thing, because if you say yes to this, how does it stop them from not, after this deal, just buying EA and Ubisoft and just hoarding the whole goddamn gaming industry? And not only just those publishers, but the IP. All the IP that we grown up with would be Microsoft owned. They would own it. That's the future that you want, is just Microsoft to hoard IP, to take all the Dooms, but the Activisions, the World of Warcrafts, all this stuff, and just hold on to it and maybe make a game like a Battletoads? You want Microsoft to own all this IP, just hoard it all up. They got a lot. Destin's reading the article to the audience trying to dude, this is not good news. This is not good news at all. And know how you know it's not good news? Just go back to 24 hours ago and read all the tweets. Oh, Microsoft has 2 people to 1. They pay off the Democrats. They have, they're now Sony's cornered now. Sony's afraid because now they just Gabe Newell came out and said he's agreed with the deal. Nintendo came, so the 10 years. They were celebrating. No way was this expected or good. They did not know that this was going to, they want this deal done and stuff so they could start celebrating it on Twitter. That's it. Well, guess what? Go put the cake back in the refrigerator because you're not going to be celebrating for a while. And who knows when it's time to celebrate, is it even going to be worth a celebration? If all these concerns, the same ones that the CMA had, the FTC is even calling more stuff out. Who knows? Microsoft, as a contingency, may have to make Starfield and Redfall multiplat. They might have to go take Starfield and put it on a PlayStation to appease the FTC. Nobody's taking this well, dude. No, T-Rock. Nobody want that. This is coal in their stocking. Not only did 2022 have no games for them, no games. The most important thing, you bought a gaming console that you celebrated 12 teraflops years before the thing was announced. You got no games this whole entire year, and now you gravitated to the stupid-ass Activision deal as like the celebration of what? Getting old-ass games in Game Pass? It's a waste of time. And now, look at this.
Okay.
Wait and wait and wait.
A few moments later.
Keep waiting. I already see him. Well, 2023 is going to be good. Maybe 24. Dude, this is hilarious. Just keep waiting. Keep waiting. Rudolph did take a shit in their stocking, Nelson. He did. He did. They can read this all they want, dude. But you see what the FTC... This is not no fanboy. This is not no a PlayStation fan tweeting this stuff. This is the FTC calling this shit out. And they got it and just think about it. People are so stupid because they can't read. Think about if Microsoft had to address all these contingencies, what would be the business value of this deal anyway? What's up, Holomoko? Exactly. And that's the other point. Thanks, No Cap. That's the other point. Everything that Microsoft has done, it's all just Philness bull. It is all just this what if, this promise, like, oh yeah, we'll do this the same way they approached the Bethesda deal, and they call it out. They call it out right here. Microsoft decided to make several Bethesda titles, including Starfield and exclusives. That's fine, right? But look what happened. Despite assurances it had given to European antitrust authorities that it had no incentive to withhold games from rival consoles. Oops. Oops, Phil Ness. Oops. Oopsie daisies. You can make them exclusive, but before the deal, you told antitrust authorities you had no incentive to do so. Same bull. Remember, oh, well, we're going to make it where Game Pass is and all this deciphering stuff. But then as soon as the deal closed, he got Sarah Bond on there going like, exclusive. Yes, Starfield will be exclusive. They lied, right? Phil got out there and they lied. He mismanaged the whole situation. He mismanaged the whole thing.
I lied.
Exactly. They lied. And that's the thing. The Bethesda deal is going to hurt this deal. That's the point. You said Call of Duty wasn't a big deal. And then Call of Duty goes and sells millions this holiday. Where's your judgment, dude? Call of Duty's not a big deal. Exactly. He talked out of his ass. Too many interviews. You want to know why? It's because they go to MSNBC where they own and they feel comfortable. Well, you know what? And this is the point. Like, JL Boy say shot his load too soon. The problem is that They jumped on this Activision deal. They were opportunistic with this Activision deal because of the vulnerability of what was going on legally with the company. So Phil went over there and was opportunistic, which is another kind of legal thing that came up in the CMA stuff, was that like, hey, 2 days after they got caught with these legal things, you went over there and bought them for cheap. You gave this offer for real cheap. You were very opportunistic in this acquisition. And it shows how desperate this was because they didn't even think about what they were going to do with the Bethesda games when they did this. You think our good friend, he sounded pretty damn confident, don't you think?
And so everything that we're doing with our content, with our our cloud, and
Oops. Stutter and Satya didn't sound too confident. That's right. Corporate grab ass and espionage. Satya didn't sound too confident. Stutter and Satya, humana. Whatever we're doing, his cue cards dropped. Like, Satya, stand in front of these people, tell them how great the deal is.
And so everything that we're doing with our content, with our
spit it out.
And so everything that we're doing with our content, with our our cloud, and
Didn't even know what the hell he was talking about. And now we're going to go to court. We're going to take this to court. Get ahead, please. And tell us how many consoles you sold. Tell us how many people are in Game Pass to justify this. Tell us how bad you suck.
You're my number one
For
customer.
the next year. Tell us all how you suck and you irrelevant in gaming. Tell the courts how you suck.
and so everything
Let
that
us
we're doing
compete.
with
We
our
suck.
content, with our
Tell them. Tell them, Satya. Tell them, Satya. Humana. Tell them.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit,
Oh,
activate.
no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Oh, no. Where is it? There he is, clown.
Not at all. And to be honest, I mean, Sony are behaving like 2-year-olds. They're being big babies about this whole thing. They're number one by a mile, and they're kind of stuck in the old model, which was having.
Wait, what did he say at the end?
For strategy to follow for Microsoft, it's a bigger picture play, but analysts say Microsoft can do without this deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason that I am well compensated and I have such longevity is that I'm smarter than most of my peers. So fine, let them say that. That's what keeps me employed. It's people out there.
Goddamn, traveling circus. Ah, damn it. Eddie Mush, put him in the bathroom. I don't want his face looking at my face. Put him in the bathroom. The hell, Eddie Mush. Rip up the tickets, we're going home. Put him in the bathroom.
Oh, and second up too. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and 80s. And they're all on Game Pass. Someone build a Playtale Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. That's 2 ground Sherman 2. Cause they're all on Game Pass. Among Us, The Ascent, and more.
It's everywhere, baby. Eddie Mush. It's everywhere. The administrative complaint filed Thursday. Both means and motive to harm competition. They're hoarding IP. They're hoarding the biggest games. They're buying Ninja. They're buying Shroud to make Mix irrelevant. Oops. Yes, that's true. They're buying the big content dudes to try to make themselves look better, try to make themselves be relevant. That's what they're doing. This is exactly like it. I said it so many times. Mixer wasn't growing. Game Pass is not growing. This is not working. So what do? Swing for the fences. Just go out and buy the biggest thing you can buy. Just do it. Because we are sinking. This shit sucks. This is what's happening. Just go buy ZeniMax. Buy struggling people. Just put them here. Buy them. Buy.
Number one customer.
Because we can't do anything. We suck. That's the problem. Cyberdrag with the 10. Thank you. Evening chat mods, grinders, and the host, me, Grind. And hello, FTC, the new Sony pony on the block. Kevin Green, he goes, how much does Microsoft have to pay Activision if the deal fails? I believe it's about $3 billion. Finger in the corner of the mouth. $3 billion. Phil's retirement plan. They're scrambling. They're running around with chicken without heads on. Here you go. I said it's not just Call of Duty, guys. Microsoft's proposed deal will give it control over key video game franchises, Call of Duty and World of Warcraft. Officials in the UK and European, this is the world against Microsoft. They better get there. My cousin Vinny getting ready to go. The two Utes, he better get out there because he's going to have a lot of work to do. The world is coming after Microsoft for this deal. Is it worth it? No. Is it good at the cost of games? I'm going to tell you, Redfall will come out, look like ass, be $70, and they'll be like, well, Microsoft's in a legal battle right now. The games are suffering because the Redfall, they're sorry. Starfield is struggling because Microsoft is so busy with the lawyers and the Activision and the deals. There's too much going on. The games we're sorry. Oh, I can't wait to hear it next year. Starfield looks like ass because Booty is over there on the stand shitting up the place. This is the problem. It's a distraction. And you Xbox fans are idiots for following this as news and making this your gaming news, making this your gaming. You got 0 games this whole goddamn year. And now you just got Cole and Rudolph just took a shit in your stocking. Enjoy your holiday with your booster box. And now you're going to go watch the Game Awards where not even an Xbox game making an appearance. They got some bootleg-ass games in Game Pass. Trying to check onto that stupid shit. They have no game. You're going to watch a Game Awards show where you're going to see Sony games winning awards, appreciation speeches, all this and that. And you're going to see games winning awards. And you're not even there. You got this. You got legal documents, Ho's Law. You got all this other stuff. You're reading up on FTC law filings. Can't wait for Court TV app to show up on your Xbox. That's what's happening to you. Because you chose this to be your game. Well, you're getting played. You're the game. Because you believe these stupid Xbox video game executives. They're my friends. He bought me a drink. Sign me. A waste of time. They're not your friends. Jim Ryan's not my friend. I don't give a shit. But guess what? Sony's bringing out games, dude. And VR. And exclusives. You're the one that can't make an exclusive. Where's your exclusives? What happened to Grounded? What about playing with the mosquitoes and the bees? What happened? Where is it? Grounded, dude. What's going on? Oh, they got snubbed at the Game Awards. Bullshit. The game was out for 3 years. You chose this, and now you're chicken without a head. This is what happens when you bark up the wrong tree and looking for W's and looking for that slow clap where you shouldn't even be. You should be like, Phil, stop wasting our time with this. Stop it. Why? And thinking like, oh, well, what's going to go through? Dude, the world is calling them out. The world is going to make Microsoft make so many contingencies to this that their business is going to be like, what are we doing here? We're now a year and a half in. We're going to court with this stuff. And Microsoft has to say, well, we're going to put the game everywhere. They basically have to be a third party and probably not even put it in goddamn Game Pass, which is the reason why this whole deal is even going through, dude. The contingency is going to make this deal not even worth it in the end. Look at all the stuff they're calling them out. They're not just saying Call of Duty. They're like World of Warcraft. I can't believe, honestly, I cannot believe how in tune these FTCs, these regulatory agencies are to the stuff. I thought they would, and I think Microsoft probably thought the same. 7 more likes for 100, everybody. Hit that like button. New people, hit that subscribe button. Be a grinder. We don't talk the crap. There's no spinning. No spinning here. The problem is after all this stuff that they're bringing up, if Microsoft has to concede and let this deal go through by accepting this, is the deal even worth it, dude? If they got to put the game everywhere, they can't put it in Game Pass. They can't, and I'm talking about Overwatch and all, they can't do this. If all these contingencies that they're calling out, all those things, and they like the deal went through, but Microsoft has to do all this stuff. How? How?
Now, whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
How's it even worth it, dude? Henton just joined the grind house. Thank you. That's right. Join that grind house. Hit that like button. Hit that
whatever your name
button.
is,
Here they come.
get ready for the big
Fist
surprise.
Reach 404. They know. They know what's up.
Get your mother, please.
This is the problem. The FTC are ponies. Yeah.
You're my #1 customer.
Phil, tell us something.
Games to our platform, because in the end I think the gamers play the games.
Of course they do.
They don't play the studios.
That
They
is
don't
true.
play the resolution numbers, right? They play the games, and we want to make sure the best games are there.
But if you're
Really, Phil, do they now? Really? They play the games. Dude, it is a mess. I'm so glad you're here by the warm fire of the grindhouse, because this internet is a mess. I didn't think the tears would come this early. And again, they jumped on this stupid Nintendo 10-year deal, and it's just like, why, dude? Who cares? Who cares? You jumped on this deal. Halo's devolving. You jumped on this deal. And you're like, oh, they offered Nintendo. Sony, they tried to do the whole, cross-streaming stuff. And it didn't work out. Because Nintendo players don't even care about this stuff. They don't care. Here's the clown here. A new clown. I tell you, these Microsoft executive clowns just come out of the woodwork. Brad Smith, here. Ooh, he's pulling the punches now. He's really putting it to Sony looks exposed. Sony's exposed. Are they? Our acquisition will bring Call of Duty to more gamers and more platforms than ever before. That's good for competition and good for consumers. Thank you, Nintendo. Any day Sony wants to sit down, we'll be happy to hammer out a 10-year deal. People jump to celebrate this. Let me tell you something. If they are all about bringing more gamers to more platforms, why would you put 10 years on it? What happens? After 10 years, you're like, yeah, well, we're done putting games everywhere. Nobody questioned that. Nobody questioned why 10 years? Why just not indefinitely? Why just do it? If your approach is more gamers and more platforms than ever before, why would you put a 10-year cap on it? What happens after 10 years?
You're my #1 customer.
Do you just go, well, we brought it to Nintendo for 10 years. They have been such a great following. There's 1 million people on Nintendo platforms. It's been 10 years. Nice knowing you, bitches. Come to Xbox. You want to play some more if Xbox is even around. If you're, and this is the double speak that they had. I saw people going live at midnight, having spaces going, oh, Sony's in trouble now. Dude, no. This is stupid. 10 years on a platform that hasn't had Call of Duty 10 years. Activision has every right in the world. This is what I'm saying. Activision, Bethesda, everybody right now, EA, Ubisoft, everybody has the choice to put games on Xbox, put games in Game Pass day one, put games exclusively on your platform. Everybody can do it, right? You did it with Titanfall, you did it with Gears, you did it with Capcom games, with Lost Planet, you've done it with Lost Odyssey games. You've done this. Why all of a sudden people could choose you right now? Free will. Free will. Activision has free will to put their games, Call of Duty, in Game Pass right now. Ubisoft could put their games in them right now. AEW Wrestling could put their game on Game Pass right now. Instead, Rockstar could put his game on your service right now. Free will. Nobody owns them. They own themselves. They could put those franchises on your platform right now. Why don't they? Why are they not choosing you to dance with at the prom? Why are they not choosing Game Pass to take out for dinner? Why? Why are they coming out and doing the opposite? I don't want to be in Game Pass, said AEW Wrestling. Game. We will not be in Game Pass. Even Activision said, we will not be in Game Pass. Hell, they put their games, 4 Call of Duty games, in PlayStation Plus.
Customer.
You got Black Ops. You got this. You got 4 games in PlayStation Plus over the last 6 years in PlayStation Plus. But they will never put their games on a subscription service. But if your vision, and this is the stuff that got them in trouble with Bethesda, if your vision is more games everywhere, why are you putting a 10-year cap on it? Phil? Oh, we'll put our games on a Samsung TV. Yeah, you're putting your games there, but they require a subscription and a credit card to play. Phil? We're putting our games on phones. Yes, you're putting them there, but they're not free. You got to pay you a subscription for those games. So putting your games everywhere, they're still behind a wall, a paywall per se. So you're not giving these games out. You're making them available, but they still got to go through you. So stop saying you're bringing games because you're bringing them there, but it's on your terms. It is with your service, with your subscription. So it's still this double-edged sword here. You act like you're this Lord and Savior of games, and nonetheless, you're putting games that don't have an audience and are not growing that audience. If you told me Halo was going to be on PC, I would have been like, holy crap, oh my God, 10 years ago, that would be huge. And to watch what they did to Halo on Halo on PC is like it's freaking 2,000 people. Battlefield Court is overseeing a Battlefield. Crazy. They destroyed Halo. Twisted Sync with the 2. He goes right on the day of the Game Awards. Oof. Yeah, right, dude? Yeah. Like I said, we're going to now celebrate games being won, and Microsoft doesn't even have a friggin' nomination. That's what this deal has done to you. Brad Smith, make some games, bitch. Show that you don't need this deal. You don't show independence. That's what and that was the main thing of this conversation is that, and then Magnum Visuals with the 2, he goes, 10-year cap is basically to strong arm the industry. Exactly. Why? Listen, if my belief is that everybody should play all these games, then I should make these games to all of you guys indefinitely. I want you to play all these games, but only for 10 years. Does that make any sense? If your holistic vision is that more people to play these games, That's your whole 2 billion gamers. For what, 10 years? Why 10 years? Why? What happens after you spend that time to grow an audience on a platform, and what are you going to do? Pull out in 10 years? Renegotiate another 10? Why 10? That's why this concession is stupid. Activision could make Call of Duty on Switch right now. They could have done it for the last decade, but guess what? It sold poorly. It sold bad. It wasn't worth it. They have free will to do whatever they wanted to. And they didn't choose you. They didn't choose the Switch. It was not a good business move because Activision has put games on the Switch. They put Crash Bandicoot on there. They have put games on the Switch. They have ported over other games to the Switch that they found are beneficial to that audience. They have free will right now to put Call of Duty on there. They chose not to because it wasn't business, did not make business sense. So why would your concession be an outlandish business move like, well, we're going to make these incredible burgers and we're going to serve them all to the vegans.
You're my number
They
one
don't
customer.
care. Who cares how many burgers you make if the people don't eat burgers? What kind of concession is that? It's an empty promise. It's a waste of time. It's stupid. It wasn't pressure. It was foolishness. And actually, I saw, where was the, where the hell was it? I had it on here. It was Xbox Icon? Where the hell was it? I'm trying to find it here. I think it was Xbox Icon. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Xbox Icon era. Was it Xbox Icon? No. I think it was Xbox era that said like a Sony response to this thing. Let me see. Here it is. This is it here. So Sony claims the Xbox and Nintendo deal is meaningless as the Switch is for children. Oh, damn, both. So this is what they said. So, but like, Sony argues that it's criticized Microsoft's deal to make Call of Duty on Nintendo, right? $69 billion acquisition, which I don't know why Xbox fans were, sorry, Mr. Super Chat, I was looking for this thing. Holy mocha with the 100 sec. Microsoft made a deal for 10 years with Nintendo to make Sony look like a fool and to show the FTC and CMA that everyone wants this deal to go through and that 10 years is a good deal. Their bluff was called. Exactly, Holmoko. Thank you so much for the super chat. Exactly. And that's exactly what this says. That's exactly what this says. It says right here. They labeled it as one of my top viewed videos, Smoke and Mirrors. Exactly. Smoke and Mirrors. That's what it was. So MLex has learned. So it says that it labeled it as Smoke and Mirrors. Activision Blizzard could supply Call of Duty to Nintendo today, but doesn't because Nintendo's younger audience is not interested in the first-person shooter, and a previous version of the game on its console was a commercial flop. The ARC critic of the deal, says MX, understands. Instead of being a logical business decision, the licensing agreement is a tactic designed to make Microsoft, whose acquisition has drawn concerns from the EU, the UK, and the US, look cooperative with regulators. Exactly what Holmoko is saying. The argument goes. Furthermore, Nintendo's Switch could not run Call of Duty easily and may never be able to, Sony argues. Developing a version of the game compatible with the Switch could take years, making a 10-year licensing deal meaningless. You like that one? There you go. Thank you again. So I think, we were talking about this with Sick on the podcast too. Basically, 10 years, it could take years for them to port the game over. Like, that could not, Link and Sick was saying this. It could be basically, it takes us a couple more years. You're going to get one every other year. So maybe it's not 10 Call of Duties. And here goes, the last sentence. It's easier for Nintendo to enter in such an agreement, Sony says. MX has learned. Lex Luthor, I guess. Nintendo doesn't need to worry about equal treatment for its subscription service or cloud gaming service, as those are not areas where it currently competes aggressively, the argument goes. There it is. Is this my words? Yeah, it sounded like that. And there it is on paper. Lex Luthor, internal report. Reported on XboxEra.com. Biased? I don't know. Sony says it's for kids. But the facts show Call of Duty hasn't been on a Switch in 10 years. Not because nobody blocked it. Nobody blocked it. It wasn't a smart business decision. It wasn't a smart business decision. There you go. That's right. That's right. Know what this reminds me of?
Do not be sorry. Be better. You are too quick to temper. You are rash, insubordinate, and out of control. This will not stand.
It so reminds me of just this, like, they went to go buy Nintendo when they wanted this Xbox. They pushed this Xbox hardware with Bill Gates for so long. And then when they realized they got the approval, the first thing they said was, let's go buy Nintendo. That will make us legitimate. And Nintendo laughed them out of the place. And Robbie Bach came back and said, hey guys, oh no, we're going to have to do this ourselves. And I find that that's why I like this, because this stuff, all this pressure on them, it makes them look internally and go, you know what, guys? They caught on to us. We can't just go buy the gaming industry up and make a quick buck. We're going to have to dig deep and do it ourselves. And if you recall, that's exactly what PlayStation had to do. With PlayStation 3, the multi-platform games weren't functioning really well on the PlayStation 3 because of the cell processor, right? So what Sony had to do was look internally and make games themselves. And we got Last of Us. We got Uncharted. We got great games. God of War 3. Sony realized that they needed to make, it was all on them to show the capabilities of the PS3 and not make the mistakes with the PS4. Microsoft needs that internal reflection, because capping and just buying big ass publishers is just putting tape on a leak. You're not doing anything. And I think this needs to make them look internally and go, dude, look around right now. 343 is face down, ass up. Booty can't keep them awake with his goddamn booty buck coffee. Initiative is in dire need of help. We got Crystal Dynamics, who's going to probably sunset the bootleg Avengers game and give Joanna Dark some mutton chops in Perfect Dark.
You're my
Fable
number one customer.
is seeking help. We got Eidos Montreal. Our studios, Hellblade 2 has been shown for the last 4 years with no release date. Knock on Rare's door to find out what Everwild is. Avowed seems to be okay. Not. I don't know what's going on with that game. State of K3? State of who? Let's look internally and figure out what the hell is going on with our games. That's why I want this stuff to just fall flat on its face, because I want them to have some self-reflection and look at themselves and go, dude, this is not working. We need to go back to our homegrown shit right now. We got the studios. Let's make sure we get quality output. Nix the Game Pass shit. Let's just make some great games and let's get back into it. That's what I want. You ask what will make me happy and satisfied. That's the revelation I want. That's the hubris that I want to see to go on with those executives. That's what I want them to see. This whole kumbaya, spread people thin, shit, we apologize, all this stuff, I want it done. I want them to go back to what they used to do and compete. Stuttering ass Satya.
And so everything that we're doing with our content, with our our cloud,
and how doesn't an Xbox fan want the same thing? All this noise, all this, we're buying Bethesda, buying studio. Dude, stop it. Just look at yourselves. Take a breath. Look down the halls. Look at what's going on with your own studios. You have them now. Nurture them. Make sure they got everything they need to make a game and get back the goodwill of the gamers. And how doesn't any Xbox fan ask for that on their shows, on their Twitter? Why? And how is that wrong? How is that angry? How is that a pony? How is that? It makes no sense. That is passion. That is from an Xbox fan that wants to see them realize this is not working. And then we get our Halo 3s versus our goddamn God of Wars. Going against, Metal Gear 4 and Halo 3. We get those incredible days. We get the Sonics versus the Maras. We get that competition and we benefit. Nobody's benefiting from this Call of Duty deal. And for an Xbox fan, why would you celebrate this money being spent and time for Microsoft just to be a third-party publisher and put the game everywhere? Why are you excited about that? That makes no sense. Oh, because you're going to get a game that you love in Call of Duty for a subscription? That's what it's about? You love these games so much that you don't want to buy them. Make that make sense, Grindhouse. Make that make sense. I love these games so much, I don't want to buy them, but put them in my subscription. Who? Zuby Tech is in the house! We got him! I'm going to lure him in. Get that Zuby Tech. I'm going to go. Buzz. I want that Zuby Tech on you. Zuby! We got him! That's a rare sighting, everybody. Zuby Tech in the chat. I've been trying to get this man to come to the Grindhouse at Zuby Tech. We got him. We got him. Welcome to the Grindhouse, Zuby Tech. Woo! His fingers must be falling off all the tweets he's making. He came in, we got him. Zuby, I'm going to open up this Discord. Zuby, if you could just say a few words to the fans. A few words to the fans. Where is it? Well, I got to open up this Discord here. I can get Zuby in here. If Zuby has a microphone. Shout out to Salty. I saw Salty in there. Everybody, we're going to go on Salty's show, and we're going to watch Jeff Keighley smuggling grapes on the show. He has it going on at 7:30, so I'm not going to keep us too long on this thing. Shout out to over 300 people live. The biggest gaming bite ever. Thank you again, Zuby. Zuby. Where I gotta get Zuby. Where the hell is the Zuby? I don't know, Zuby. I got him in here. Zuby, if you could join, I'm gonna go to the Grindhouse right now. That's it. Let's see if I can get Zuby in this thing. Well, Zuby, the Grindhouse is open. If you could try to get in, well, no pressure. No pressure. I just called you in here. Over 300 people live. Zuby, no pressure, Zuby. No pressure, Zuby. Hit that subscribe button, all new grinders. Come on in. Sit by the fire and watch this stuff melt before your eyes. Compost Smurf has something to say on behalf of the Xbox Nation. Get ahead, grinders. This is it. Christmas came early, I guess. That's right. They're all thanking Zuby. Zuby, thank you for all your work, man. Guy puts in a lot of work on that Twitter. And he was one of the true honest people that wasn't like, I'm leaving Twitter for Spike, whoever the hell that trash is. Stupid people leaving Twitter. All those cappers. Zuby hung strong in there, man. He's like, I'm doing my job. Zuby with the facts. That's the thing. Cancel compost. All right, keep it clean. Keep it clean, compost. Oh, damn. So anyway. Exactly. All we ever wanted. Mike's must have making it mooch sound quiet, dude. Yeah. That's why it's too loud. It's like stereo. I don't know what's that pre-show. Woo, it is gonna be fine. This is the segue. We're gonna all go to the saltiest to go watch the Smuggling Grapes Jeff Keighley show. He says it's shorter this year. Pause. He said it's shorter this year, but they got bigger advertisements. Oh my goodness, Schick Blades. Dude, again, now that's the thing. Where does it go from here? Right? FTC now is like, listen. I don't even care about the two Utes. Like, listen, the legalities and the lawyers, the FTCs, all I know is that this is just going to cause more. We're going to get more dirt and more stuff on the actual business of Xbox. All the numbers they've been hiding, all the things that they've been doing. Remember their contingencies to the CMA? Stutter and Satya, we suck. We're like 4th or 5th. In the 2 console wars. I don't know who the hell the third one is. But you know what? No, we have over 300 people live. I don't think everybody has heard the song. Everybody, this podcast has been brought to you by Game Pass.
And second games are coming fast.
They're coming fast and going fast.
12 minutes and 80s. And they're all on Game Pass.
A place of rap we go.
What are you gonna play?
It's all on Game Pass, baby. Shout out to the biggest live audience ever on the Grindhouse.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit,
Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
That's Phil right now with the executives. They're like, holy Jesus. Phil's like, I'm working Christmas. Satya went in there and going, Phil, get in my office.
And so everything that we're doing with our content, with our
Oh, man. Oh, Phil's getting slapped. Satya's not having it. You told me 1 year. You told me Call of Duty, Phil. You told me Bethesda. Phil, man. Oh, no, they brought the chainsaw out. Oh, Phil. Oh. Yo. He's here. We got him. Zuby, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Jess. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Oh, my goodness. What a day, man, Zuby. Your fingers hurting?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, you're like, you can't type fast enough. This stuff came out here, man. It's crazy.
Crazy, yeah, it's totally crazy. That site that first reported it, Politico, they're the ones that said they were going to do it. So their sources were correct.
You're right. Remember, people were criticizing that political thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying like, oh, you're right. They came out, dude. Dude. Shout out to Zuby. We got Zuby in the Grindhouse, everybody. Give him all the emojis. We got him. Yeah. So
appreciate it, Jess.
Oh,
thanks.
man. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're on here. So let me ask you. So when you first saw this thing, you kind of, were you in shock that like the FTC just came right out and it was just like, yo, we're doing this, like blocking this, we're taking them to court on this?
To be honest, like the rumor was that Phil Spencer was going to meet FTC this week. So maybe, I don't know, the discussions fell through.
Yeah, that Sam's guy was going to meet with her, right? I think that's what he was going to do, something like that.
And Phil Spencer. So I'm not sure what happened. And then on Monday, you saw like Sony didn't respond to the 10-year deal, and then now is on Thursday. This has happened. So yeah, it's a complete shock in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't believe how fast. You're right. I can't believe how fast it happened. Be like, you know, the fact that they're just. It's amazing and how social it is, right? Like that's how I feel like how crazy. Like even with Phil Spencer's like midnight tweet, you know, just like making
that was so weird.
Wasn't that? It was just so weird. It was just such like a swing for the fences, like right before the meeting, whatever. Like we made a promise to Nintendo. And again, it's all this. See, the problem is as well as reading before, was like they kind of made this wishy-washy stuff with Bethesda. And right? And then after the deal went through, they kind of like said, "Oh, we'll make everything exclusive." And I think that's hurting them in this.
Yeah, totally. Again, like CMA picked that up. FTC's now picked it up, so it's kind of like a back and forth between CMA and FTC. Like CMA said it first, and then now FTC saying the same thing. So, like wherever way you look at it, this deal is gonna have, like you've been saying on your podcast, just like gonna have major concessions.
Yes.
Like I don't think Call of Duty could ever be removed now from PlayStation, like that 10-year deal. I think it'll be like permanently, like unless Microsoft promises something else, which we don't know about at the moment. But
and no doubt, you know what's crazy is that they're also in the FTC. They're not stopping with Call of Duty. They're like, oh, and World of Warcraft, and like they're like bringing up other Activision franchises, which is crazy. Is like you read, like these concessions that they would have to make by the time all this stuff is done. What is left of the deal? Like, what is the then you got to look at Microsoft's business, like their stockholder, and be like, well, why are you even spending this if you're just going to put games where they are? Like, what's our advantage? How are we making our money back?
Exactly. To be honest, like this is like the second largest tech acquisition ever.
Yeah.
And like Microsoft should have known that this was going to get blocked, like wherever way it is, because it's $70 billion. It's just unheard of. And that's not only the second tech biggest, is Microsoft biggest acquisition. Also, don't forget, like last year they tried to acquire TikTok. So this fails through, if this fails through, it'll be the second consecutive like failed acquisition if it falls through.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they tried to do the TikTok thing, which that was insane as well. Like Trump blocked it or something. Somebody like that was another thing that was like they just pulled out. They realized it wasn't. Or like again, like it just seems that like I was saying before, you know, this whole Activision thing was definitely an opportunistic attempt, which is another kind of legal thing that was coming up too, with like the timing of when Phil made the offer as to what the state of Activision was at the time, and kind of like, you know, were you taking advantage of a company that was in turmoil, which he obviously did 2 days later, you know, went over there and was like, hey, we're gonna bail you out a little bit. And, you know, because I think Kodak would have been out before last Christmas with the way this thing was building up if Phil never got involved. Like all that legality stuff, all that stuff that was going on, more people were coming out and saying, you believe this, what they've done with the photos and all this other stuff. It was building up like crazy. Then all of a sudden, when Microsoft said, we want to buy we're like, yeah, we'll fix them. And then they went away.
Like, apparently they're filing another lawsuit, Activision, against the people that, I think in California, another lawsuit's been filed from Activision.
Oh yeah, exactly. So like, I just feel that this whole thing was a mess. It's been a waste of time, and I just think that, you know, it really needs to make Microsoft realize, because that's the biggest thing. Like you said, this is the biggest thing in video game acquisition history. The problem is like, if this does get approved without all this scrutiny or anything like that, what stops any other deal? Customer. Like, what stops an EA buyout, a Rockstar buyout, and Microsoft just could hoard all this stuff? Who's going to say no if you let this go? You know, and that's the issue that I always had. Like, people like, does it matter? Do I care? My problem is the fallout of this. Like, if this goes through, you know, I was concerned when I saw Bethesda, because, again, I was just like, is this what Microsoft's really going to do? It's seriously like the kid who can't win a game and it's just like, I'm taking my game ball and going home. Nobody plays now. And I feel like it's very, very vindictive. I don't think it's strategic at all, because obviously you see what they don't even know what they're doing. Bethesda has a whole bunch of studios. We have no clue what the roadmap is to Bethesda. Do you even think that Bethesda would have been able to survive off of Redfall and Starfield in the last 3 years without any releases? Except for Sony exclusive games. Like, what would what would they have done? With like, I guess Sony would have held them up with Ghostwire and Deathloop. But like, I just think like, could Activision been this quiet if it wasn't for Microsoft? Could any of the studios that they bought in 2018, Compulsion Games, you think that they still would have been around if they didn't have Microsoft funding them right now without announcing a game or showing anything?
Totally.
Like, Microsoft's bag is keeping them like, just like chilling. And I think the problem is that Microsoft has not really shown what they can do with Bethesda. And the fact is that they made this acquisition, I think, too quickly. They jumped on this opportunistic deal, and now it's biting them in the ass because I don't think they haven't done anything in the last 6 years to really demonstrate what they can do. They haven't released a lot of games. They haven't really done that much gaming wise to go, hey, FTC, look at what we did with Bethesda. Nope, can't do Bethesda games. Look what we did with our studios and that we purchased at 28. Oh, nope, we can't do that. Look what we did with Halo. Oh, no, like, there's nothing that they could hold their hat on in the last 5 years that they could show, guys, we're doing great in gaming. This is just builds out a portfolio. They're coming at this from desperation. Like, hey, we have no stake in this game. The only thing we could do is buy IP and games away from the competition.
Like, I get it. Like, Microsoft is such a rich company. Like, it's understandable they want to go into mobile. Like, I understand that part of it, but Call of Duty is just so big, and I bet they regret buying Bethesda now. Even Modern Warfare 2, because it was such a huge success already within like the fastest selling Call of Duty ever. I'm sure that didn't help.
I know, right? Like, if they said Call of Duty was not a big deal, and then it's like Call of Duty sold like crazy.
Yeah,
they might have had better legs after Vanguard, on that one, but like this one blew up. And again, but cool. Now my thing is like they keep saying, and that was my other problem with this whole thing was like they kept saying this is great for everybody. It's great for everybody, but they never kind of laid out how it is. They just keep this hyperbole of like, trust us, it's going to be great for developers. And the problem is that really they have yet to demonstrate this is a strategic acquisition to do anything. That's why I do commend it with the Nintendo thing, because it was the only thing finally they just said, hey, this will be a benefit from this, even though it makes no sense with Nintendo business sense. But at least it was something to show, hey, this is what their plan is. Because otherwise, all they've been saying is like, trust us. Trust me, dude. Like, this is going to be great for competition and game. It's like, how? How? What are you going to do? Call of Duty is everywhere. You said Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty's free to play. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the Warzone's free to play. It's on everything. Call of Duty is on all the platforms. PC, it was on Steam already.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? The only place to put it on is a Switch, Game Pass, or xCloud. How's that make it better for everybody else? People could play Call of Duty natively on their phone right now. They want to stream it over xCloud.
It's a totally different market, like, because you've seen actually Call of Duty Mobile be such a success as well. It makes so much money on the Google Store, App Store, and iOS App Store. Like, it prints money. So even like I think you said it on your podcast, like, why would you need a cloud version? Like, it would conflict between the two, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, Call of Duty prints money on mobile, and it prints money on console. And even Call of Duty is primarily a console game. Is Warzone's a bit mixed, is PC and console, but Call of Duty multiplayer is primarily a console game.
Yeah, exactly. It is a console game. Well, I saw you just put like this. I was just looking at your tweet about the action-packed holiday season. How God of War Ragnarok, Call of Duty Warzone, FIFA, Game Awards, the FIFA World Cup. Like, yeah, it has been. It's so crazy. Even with the Game Awards coming up, like what we're gonna see. I don't know if they're gonna be on too late for you, but like, one of the things with this is like now we're gonna see the celebration of games that are released, and I think it's really gonna show how much air this Activision deal took out of Microsoft, because they don't have any games this year in there, and it's crazy. And I don't know if they're going to have big announcements with release dates. Like I said before, they better have a Redfall release date, which I think is probably going to be March or February maybe. And they got to have a Starfield release date. If those are no shows, I don't know how you make that announcement about $70 games and basically, not show them at this thing and make them open for pre-order. I think Redfall is probably a shoo-in for at least getting announced. But again, yeah, for spoken demo, I think that's a great move, actually. Because that game I think that's going to be a great demo. Oh, let me get this. Top shot with the $4.99. He goes, the FTC suing to block means nothing. Look at the T-Mobile Sprint merger. The FTC did the same thing. Yeah. And again, you could say it means nothing, but I guess the thing is that it could have just went right through, too. And I already read all the issues that the FTC has. So if the block means nothing, look at all those concessions that Microsoft will have to address. And if they have to address those concessions in order for the FTC to approve it, what good's the deal at all? It basically turns them into a third-party platform. They can't make anything exclusive. They can't do anything that they would want to with owning it. So tell me, how's that a win? If the FTC just said, hey, sure, boom, we're done, they could have went right through with this stuff. But the fact is that they have to make those concessions if they had to address this stuff. If they address it, what are we going to do here? But thank you for the super chat. And again, it's, everybody's going, it's over. Listen, all I know is that this is going to last longer. And we're going to find out more, Zuby, on all the underbelly of Xbox, because they're going to have to prove that they're either weak. We saw what they did with the CMA. They're irrelevant, they're fourth and fifth, they're insignificant. And it's really hard for a company that is a $2 trillion company who's buying the biggest publisher in video games, the biggest IPs, for $70 billion to be like, yeah, that's irrelevant, we're irrelevant, don't look at us, this is a little deal, like, don't worry about it,
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, Jez, like the deal is not going to close now in June 2023. No way. Like this,
no way.
These lawsuits take ages, and they don't like complete overnight. And then even like the concessions that will take extra time, and then you don't know what's happening in UK and Europe with CMA. Yep. So Microsoft have got their hands full, and like you said, Starfield, Redfall. Like if they're holding out. Like, what happens to those games?
I know, right? The excuses were like, oh, well, this deal, it's really holding up them. They don't want to show anything too much. They got to look weak for the CMA. It's like, now they got to look weak for the FTC for a whole year now. Like, I think that's an excuse. I just think Microsoft they're just really not good at, I don't know what they're doing, actually. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, this is going to go on longer. And that's where, this may not be a big deal, but it's going to be a big deal in the sense that this is just going to drag on longer and longer and longer.
Yeah, and to be honest, in my point of view, I'm quite tired and sick of it. I know. I just want Microsoft to acquire them because, like, Microsoft's not going to stop. Like, they will go for EA, they will go for Take-Two, they will go for Ubisoft. Like, it's going to happen. There'll be a point where they will receive some pushback, like from another publisher, but they're going to go in again. Like
they're not going to stop.
They're not going to stop. No way.
And what they're doing is basically scooping up. And like I said before, the biggest problem I have with this whole thing is hoarding of IP, because I saw what they did with Rare, and like just they outsourced the like Battletoads because somebody wanted to make it. Like, imagine now they're going to own all this stuff, and it's going to be, if they're not pumping out games, like how are they just going to wait for a developer to tap them on the shoulder going, I really like to make a crash game. Can I make one? Yeah, you know what? Sure, we'll license it out. And then you get this whole, like, what's the quality oversight? Look what they did with Battletoads. Like, Microsoft was doing nothing with it, but Dahlia Studios was like, hey, we would love to make a Battletoads game. And Phil's like, okay, yeah, sure, make one. Not online, a disaster. Like, that's what you want to do with your IP? Just hoard them out to, like, because you just want to own it all? Like, I don't think that's a good business practice, and I don't think that's good for gaming anyway. You don't want a big company like that to own all that IP and then decide when they want to do it, and when they do it, it's not quality, It's not a good idea.
You don't even want Sony to do that. Like,
no, I wouldn't want Sony to do that either, because we always say, with great power comes great responsibility. When you have all that stuff, you got to be responsible for it, and they have yet to show their responsibility. And the one thing is Sony, if they start this PC venture that they're doing and they start dropping quality because they're spread too thin,
just like it's gonna happen. Just like the PC launch is coming, trophy sports coming.
I know.
Yeah, you're totally right. Like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I don't want that quality to drop though. Like I don't need this. I don't like because that was the biggest problem I had with Microsoft putting their games on PC was like these studios were spread too thin. And there was a lot of kind of excuses why things weren't ready. And, as long as Sony keeps the PlayStation in its main sights to ensure that they get the best, they get the biggest focus at first, and then we'll put it wherever it is, then that's fine. As long as you don't compromise the initial experience. And that's what Microsoft seemed to do with their games. They compromised this because they were spread too thin and, they needed better management. And, it is what it is, but like,
yeah,
I just
it's sad to see like Halo, even that studio,
I know, dude.
343, like they got like over 1,000 developers, so it's that's a management problem.
Yes,
like that's yeah.
I know it's a management problem and all this stuff. What's this?
But making games are hard, so it's something that's so hard to accomplish.
Yeah. It is too, and there's more stuff. Dude, there's so much stuff. The internet is ablaze with this because this was like their Christmas right now. It could have been their Christmas present, and now this is just oh my god! Like a King Thresh says, you want to see a dead body, and he has Phil's Twitter up. Oh my god! Please, no, not like this. But yeah, it is just insane, and it's incredible how quickly this happened. And how much is being made public with this deal and the FTC's issues. And again, I think the CMA, seeing the issues with the CMA, that FTC is like, yeah, like we could do it. It shows like where Brazil was with this whole thing. They kind of proved it overnight, dude. But Call of Duty's not a big game for them. They said that. Like, Call of Duty's not a thing for them. So it is what it is.
Call of Duty does really well in US and Europe.
Yeah.
In other markets like Japan, it doesn't do that well, and Brazil.
I know exactly. They said like it's not even a big like they're almost like how Nintendo was with the 10-year deal. Like, sure, we're like a bystander in this whole thing. Yeah, you want big games for us? Whatever. Yeah, sure. Like it's no skin off their back. Like Nintendo's like, yeah, make Call of Duty for us 10 years. I don't care. Like it is what it is. It'll sell. It's your loss if it doesn't sell. It's not our fault. We're not paying for it. So
yeah, one of the Black Ops titles was ported to I think Wii or Wii U.
Yeah, I think you posted it was like 2012, right? 10 years ago.
And it sold so bad, and Activision said we're not going to do this ever again.
Exactly.
So
they had a decade of opportunity here, and even with the Switch, and you can't even say, well, Nintendo's not selling well. That's why Nintendo is big. It outsold now the PS4 in its lifetime.
Yep.
And to think about it, that's how the hell can Call of Duty not be on that biggest install base right there? Because it's not financially feasible. Top shot with the $9.99. I just want to read this to Super Chat. Microsoft's ultimate goal is not to sell consoles, but to turn console-like PC market with multiple manufacturers making consoles while they license Game Pass on devices like Samsung and Logitech. That's true, dude. That's true. And guess where they do that? On PC. They license out their operating system, make HP, all of them make their hardware. They just decided to make some hardware with Surface and was successful, but that's exactly what they want to do. They want to treat the gaming market just like their PC market. We just make the operating system, and you go make whatever you want to run on games, and we will just be there.
Azure PlayFab, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I'm gonna have to drop off. I gotta eat and get ready for the second show. But Zuby, it's been such an honor and a pleasure to have you on here. Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody, follow Zuby on Twitter if you have not. Zuby is the man. He also shows up on Willie's podcast, Company of Gamers. I'm gonna do his @ here. I think that works. I don't know if this works here, but yeah, it's been I've been trying to get Zuby on, and what a special day to get you on.
I'll be on your podcast. Maybe not next week, but the week after. 100%.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, well, I'm going to be approaching 100 shows, so I'll get you on the celebration show, definitely.
Yeah. I'll let you know anyway.
No problem. Thank you, Zuby. And grinders, hit that like button, share it out, subscribe if you're new. I just put with Zuby. You can follow him over on Twitter and Company Gamers with Wooly. We're gonna be on. I'm gonna go on Salty's podcast. We're gonna start around 7:30, so about an hour or so. We're gonna have the pre-show, and we're gonna do a live stream of the Game Awards. If Zuby's gonna stay up for that one, I don't know. You might. We'll see. I hope it's entertaining this year. We will see. But follow us over there. Thank you for the largest live stream. I can't believe it, guys. Hit that like button. Internet's ablaze. Enjoy yourself. Get your popcorn. And watch the fireworks on Twitter because it is glorious. Get your screenshot fingers ready and follow Zuby Tech over on Twitter. Thank you again, Grinders. We're going to leave you with the Game Pass song. Phil Spencer is sitting now drinking a big glass of boxed wine and crying in the corner.
It's like
this song.
New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and 80s. And they're all on Game Pass. A Plague Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. To ground the Truman 2. 'Cause they're all on Game Pass. Among Us, the Ascent, and more.
Say goodnight, Booty.